Brian, what you doing down there?
Hey, I am doing some wiring. Have put in a new negative block terminal. I've got a new switch panel, which Susan can show you from the inside of the boat. And I'm currently wiring up a knot meter, which is a how fast you're going meter. I just connected power to my compass light. Go show them the new gauges.
Is that what's back here?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking
about. Switch panel right here.
Oh, the switch panel. Yes.
New switches.
New switches. Bitches. He's in a little hole.
It's a confined space for sure. She threatened to close it on me.
And put something heavy on the lid.
Right, blue is my positive.
Looking at the skyline, all the places and times that you were there. Why go a little further, give a little love. Calling my name, will you spit it out? Nothing left here but the blame and deceit you're wearing, and the pain and defeat.
Okay, let's take a little tour of the freshly cleaned boat. Guess we can start up in the bow. This is actually a sleeping berth. And I have a board that actually sits right here. It provides a little privacy as a wall for the toilet, which is right down there under my sailbags. But that board can go across here. And then this cushion will go on top of it and give you a bunch more room for your sleeping berth. Susan and I both laid in this thing. You can fit two people, but boy, it's tight. I think you probably sleep one up there or none up there and two in the back. Next stop, communications. We've got the CB radio, currently not hooked up to an antenna. That's a repair that still needs to be done. The car stereo does not function. Not gonna repair it. There's no reason to have it with the Bluetooth speaker, but I might put in a couple little speakers, that one and this one over here behind my shoulder, for a little more enriched Bluetooth receiver sound. The receiver plays and the speakers are in the hole in the cockpit combing, but this space is open, and under here above my bag, that's open if you go up, so you can hear the music in the cabin really very well, which is pretty awesome. This is my cooking center. So I'm looking into getting a water tank, which actually stores under the forward berth, new piping, and figure out how to get water from A to B. I'm assuming there's a pump involved, but I know nothing about it really. So I've got to do a little research on that. A little storage area for cooking utensils or supplies, maybe some spices. My cutting board, and this is the alcohol stove. Looks like it's almost never been used. It's cute as can be. I've never used an alcohol stove. I think you fill it here and then you light it, and these are your basically flame high, flame low. Pretty cool. I want to figure this out. I'd like to be able to use it, at least have it to be functional. It's just kind of neat. More storage under the stove area. I've got boat supplies and tools, and dry boxes there. This is a sleeping berth. It's a thin one. You can remove this back cushion, get a little extra space, but nice place to lay down. Real long. This goes all the way up into the hold, which is underneath the boat. You've seen me under there working on the electronics on this side of the boat. You get there through the top hatch, And then across the way here, this is the big sleeping berth. And I don't, unfortunately, have the board that goes here and here to make it a little wider. I'm going to have to make one. I want it to kind of match. So, but yeah, another board. This is my tabletop. It can flip up and be a table here, sitting there and sitting here. But with the table up, it comes all the way out here to the edge. It takes a lot of space. It's just nicer to have it be one giant couch, basically, if you're going to come down here and do anything or hang out. So I'm going to replace this board, I think, and at least have it available if somebody wants to sleep here. Again, probably pretty tight for two people, but, you know, I could sleep over there and she could sleep over here, or she could sleep up there. I'm looking forward to doing a little camping. Lake camping sounds amazing to me. There's another little storage area over here. My tool bag. Tons of room up there, of course. But it's not necessarily the cleanest or the driest. And then, of course, new electronic panel. I don't know if I've even talked about this. So this is Marked Instruments. And that's the light bulb for my compass, which we found out had wiring when I opened the back of this panel up. This is my GPS knot meter. Tells me how fast I'm going. I installed that today. And that's the back side of it right there. And then down here, the last one, I installed a light in the berth locker. See? Now you can see down there. That's where I was when I was in the boat, was back in there. I don't know if you can tell, but this hatch here opens. Pretty cool. I was like, you know what? I've got an extra light. It sure would be nice to be able to see in there real well if you need to fish something out of there. And then this is probably going to end up being deck lights on the mast, spreaders, maybe, I don't know, maybe party lights. Maybe we'll do some LEDs up the mast or something pretty. And then I don't know what I'll do with this one. I need to label that one. So, if you're in for the night, sorry, this cushion keeps falling. If you're in for the night and you want a little more moving around room, that one's tough. There we go. There, you can pull your steps away. And that makes a lot more space. You know, I was thinking, ideal situation, a board that goes from here to here, and then where I'm sitting to there. Now we have, I mean, you wouldn't be head to head because this is further up, but this would be almost a king size bed at that point, which would be pretty awesome. We'd have to figure out the cushion situation. I don't think that would be too hard, but pretty neat. So you can pull the transom steps away. There we go. She slips right back on and she locks down. There we go. So that's about it. That's the tour of the boat. We wiped her down from top to bottom with cleanser. We vacuumed all the funk out of it. The boat is clean. It's probably the cleanest it's been in a long time. I got my forward hatch all figured out. I put a new tie down on the front of it. You can see it's got 3 wheel turns now. The little tightened down things. It seals up great now. That's about it. I'm real happy with this boat. I really love it. I was telling Susan tonight, I think when we launch it, I'll probably cry. I feel like I know every inch of this boat. I've touched every single inch of it. And it's a personal relationship now. I love this boat. And the more I do to it, the more in love with it I become. I want to put my spinnaker up and just look at it. But I need a little wind. It's so still today. Need a little northeasterly wind to come through. Not much else project-wise. Interior, I've got to fix my wire stay, my outer shroud. Well, it's a stay. It's the big one. I've got to replace it. We've talked about that. I'd like to replace my halyards. You know, they'll probably at least make it through winter till next season. And it doesn't seem smart to put on new rope before we go into winter. So that'll wait. And halyards they're expensive. Like, you know, $1.80 a foot expensive. What else? Oh, I want to varnish my teak. I'm going to work on that. And I'm not even sure what else. Oh, I've got, I don't even know if I'm going to share this yet because I haven't bought it yet. But I have an artist that I found on Etsy that's going to potentially make me a new tiller handle, which is what you steer the rudder with. It'll be right back off the stern there. And he makes these walking sticks, and I saw them and I'm like, man, that is so cool. You know, beautiful woods like ironwood or blackwood, mahogany, teak, expensive woods. And he puts a great big ball on the end of it. They're walking sticks, right? And I said, man, that would make an amazing tiller if you could put a little curve in it, like a 6-inch rise, and then that ball in the end. And they said they would do it. It's going to be $350, which I got to come up with if I want to do it. Is it necessary? No. But is it cool as hell? Yeah. And if you think about it, the tiller is kind of the most intimate part of the boat. You're constantly in contact with it. It's how you steer and maneuver the boat along with the sails, and you have a relationship with it. It's your intimate connection with the boat. So I think having that piece of beautiful, unique artwork, it would be really, really cool to have. So looking forward to that. I found a spinnaker pole. I found a whisker pole for my spinnaker. It's $200 and it's in Iowa. I haven't reached out to the guy because right now I don't have $200 to send him, and you know, he'd have to ship it to me. So we'll see. You know, time will tell. Nah, I made a bunch of money today at the farmer's market selling sourdough, which really helps. But next week we're off because they're doing a barbecue thing downtown, and the farmer's market won't be up and running. So, but that's been kind of a godsend. You know, that's where a lot of my boat money has come from, is baking sourdough and selling canned goods, and being down there every Saturday early, setting up, and, you know, making $300, $400, $500. It's been all boat money, which has been great. But this thing eats money. But I'm to a point where once I get everything the way I want it, I don't want to have to put another dime in it. You know, just basic maintenance. You know, keep the teak polished, keep it washed and waxed. Maybe next year buy a new mainsail would be super cool. But at that point, the boat's almost like a new boat again. I told you I installed that depth gauge, which is super cool. I haven't installed the sending unit or the sensor for it yet. It's sonar. If you hold it to your ear, you can hear it click like a watch. It goes tick, 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 tick. I have to epoxy this thing to the hull down in the hold, and it will shoot radar through the fiberglass boat and tell me how deep we are on water, which is so cool. So I'll know how fast I'm going. I'll know how deep the water is. I've got my compass bearing. What else do I need? I don't think anything. So, and my solar panel, charging my battery. You know, I'm going to put a second battery in. I'd love to convert to lithium, but good God, they're expensive. But a new deep cell marine battery, tie the two together, and that's enough power for a whole night running everything. I was talking to Susan earlier. There's a spot back here, right here. It's a weird cutout. There's railings in here that, like, I mean, this bag is sitting in that spot. You could almost put a little cube refrigerator. Not like a college-sized fridge, but just one of those little squares, like they're like 1.5 by 1.5 feet. You could stick it in there and run power to an inverter, you know, back here by the battery would be pretty slick. And then on the weekends, if you're camping, you got refrigeration. You don't have to worry about ice. And nobody likes, soggy, wet lunch meat. A refrigerator would be brilliant. Another option, potentially, under the sink or under the cook space here. Little cube refrigerator in there. Take the cabinet doors off, trim it out. That could be pretty cool. That'd be really cool. So, lots of possibilities. I'm looking forward to using it. Susan seems like she's starting to really like the boat and what we can go do and explore and see. She's spending more time on the boat with me, and I can tell she's getting excited to get in the water as well. So we'll move in that way rapidly. Just a few more projects. I'm hoping to splash this baby maybe last week of August. That's Commodore's Cup weekend, which I've been invited. My instructor, Paul, invited me to crew for him for this regatta, which is amazing. I'm just a student. And he's like, hey, Brian, you want to crew for me? Honored to sail with Paul. He's a great teacher, and he's a gentleman. So I'm excited about that. That'll be a lot of fun. So that's what's going on. I guess I'll talk to you later.
I ended up recycling an old coffee table to cut a piece of wood to build out this bed space. And it turned out amazing. It looked so good.
This is the most terrifying insect I've ever seen. Oh my God. I mean, it's as big as my entire thumb. Oh, I mean, I got chills running down my spine right now. I think it's one of them locust killers. Cicada killer? Cicada killer. Focus correctly. I don't want to get any closer to this thing. Ah! And talk about intimidating. I was going to try and kill it, but now I'm just like, I don't want to piss it off. It just took a shit. Oh, thank God it flew out the door. Woo! I'm allergic to stingy bugs. Oh my God. That thing came in the door here and it sounded like, an Apache helicopter flew in here. Brrr. I was like, yeah, it's probably a horsefly. And then it flew past me within inches, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. That was a terrifying moment.